Hello, Placentia community. This is Eric Holmgren, your ambassador at large. And today I am with Juan Velasquez.
Juan Carlos Vasquez.
Juan Carlos Vasquez of JCV Wealth Management.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing phenomenal. We're finally getting some really good weather here in California.
Indeed.
And it's not so hot today, so today's a good day.
Yeah, and we're indoors with air conditioning, even if it does.
Yes, that's right.
So Juan, tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me a little bit about your company.
Yeah, absolutely. So JCV Wealth Management started in the industry 15 years ago this November. So I started right during the financial crisis, and I thought, oh my God, what am I doing during this period of time? Ended up being a blessing in disguise. This is my 4th year owning my own practice, JCV Wealth Management. I am in the city of Tustin, and it's a thriving environment. It's an ever-changing environment, so I'm happy to do it. I love what I do. I'm able to change people's lives, and I love that.
Well, good. How did you get involved in financial? Is it financial advising, financial management?
So I do financial planning and I do financial advising. So I do the holistic planning. If you have a financial goal, I can take care of it.
Okay.
I got into it by luck, I would say mostly. I remember that during the financial crisis, Chase bought out Washington Mutual.
Right.
And
I'd worked for them back in the day.
There you go. They had a massive hires, and they were giving out opportunities to earn your securities licenses.
Okay.
And so they had a certain format. Luckily, I was able to onboard myself, pass my exams, and get my licenses, and then the rest is history. So after that, just kept scaling up. I was a financial representative. I was an independent channel. A variety of different positions, but all in the securities industry.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
What is it that you enjoy most about being a financial advisor?
I think probably the ability to change lives. I mean, we know how important, obviously, money is, right? I'd say that most people realize that it is probably the most important thing in your life. Now, it shouldn't dictate how you live your life, to the degree that it does, but I think it is the most important piece. And so the ability that I have to be able to change someone's life or someone's, I would say generation is massive, right? So if I can teach or lead or help, not only set you for a more successful financial future, I'm also doing that for the generations to come behind you. So I get a thrill out of knowing that if today we started on a different path for financial success, not only am I doing it for you, but hopefully for your loved ones around you. So that's what's most important.
Cool.
Yeah.
What prompted you then to start your own business?
I think the growth, right? So I was in Chase and JP Morgan Chase, and they were phenomenal. I was very happy for my tenure there. However, I think I outgrew the platform. It was time for me to be able to build a more customized practice, a little bit more client-centric environment. I always like going I like going, all the way from my clients. So not leave them halfway through because of corporate rules or environments, right? And I understand why they have the guidelines, but I like to do things a little bit differently. And so JCV Wealth started from the idea of, what would I like my parents to receive as far as service and products if they walked into, a financial service environment. So I always keep that in mind. I always think, well, whoever's sitting in front of me, I'm going to pretend like they're my mom or my dad and give them that level of mom and pop service.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a particular type of client that you typically like to work with, or what if I was going to say to refer you, what kind of person should I be looking for, or who should I be referring to you?
That's a great question. The reality is anyone who has a financial goal and is willing to want to do something about that financial goal. I have clients that are professional athletes. I have clients that have $0, but their emphasis is maybe buying down their debt, bringing down their debt, or they're trying to build a better budget, build better financial habits. So it doesn't matter, where you fall in that scale. The most important piece is that you have a financial goal, which everyone does, right? Everybody's going to retire at some point. Everybody wants a new car. Everybody wants a house. But the other piece that's most important is that you're willing and wanting to work with me to make that dream an actual reality.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so then you were providing then advice, and then because you've got the securities background, if they have invest money with you, then you're directing it to whatever particular path or investment that
That is
fits
correct.
with them reaching their goal.
Yeah, so I provide the advice, the recommendation, and also the management piece. So
Okay.
if they say, hey, look, I'm looking to retire in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, I propose a portfolio or an environment in the securities industry that might work for them. If they have a variety of different wealth vehicles, so they could be homes, they could be investment homes that they just want to make sure that whatever income is coming from there is used to the best of the ability. I can also work on that as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
As you know, with our chamber chats, we frequently want to have our interviewees share some business wisdom with the wider community.
Absolutely.
And so the question that we ask is, what's a business challenge that you've had and how have you overcome it?
Yeah, well, I think in my line of business and in most lines of business, I think the methods of communication have changed drastically in the last 5-10 years. The presence of online has changed dramatically as well. And so for someone like me that touches on such a sensitive topic like money, people aren't open to cold calling any longer.
Right.
They're not, reading their mail as frequently as they used to in the past. So for me, it's about finding an online presence that brings two things. One, credibility and trustworthiness. And that's very difficult to do through
Right.
an online presence. So I think that's been the most difficult piece, the emergence of AI. And how I've overcome it, I think a lot of what networking provides is the solution, right? What you put into it is what you get out of it, right? So being with other professionals such as yourself, other chamber members, and other networking groups that I belong to, I'm not afraid to ask questions. There's
Right.
professionals of every industry. And there are professionals who are social media influencers, social media professionals that understand that dynamic of online presence. And it's just being able to tap into a little bit of their intellect on what that looks like and be able to build an infrastructure. So
Okay.
up to this point, I haven't really dropped dollars into the bucket of social media and online presence. I've tried to build it my own way. But it's very difficult, and I know that a lot of businesses are also not struggling, but they're trying to figure out, okay, how is AI going to help me? How is it going to communicate with my clients? How can it communicate with my business infrastructure?
Right.
So I think tapping into the resources that are available, I think that's a big miss by a lot of business owners. They sometimes feel like, oh, well, I don't want to ask too many questions, or I don't want to ask because they're going to need something in return. And the reality is that's not the case.
Right.
I think there's so many available resources. It's just, hey, let's just ask some questions, and you're there already, so
Yeah.
why not? Right?
So so are you using AI then in some aspect with your business communication-wise with your clients?
Yes, I am. So one that most people recognize is ChatGPT, right?
Right.
So I use them to really, I would say, clean up what I want to say. So, there's so many ways that you can communicate on an email, on paper, and it's really nice to have AI say, I think if you said it this way, it'd be a little bit nicer, it'd be interpreted a little bit nicer. And the back and forth that you have with AI is incredible, right? So you can say things like cut the fluff, or hey, add some finesse, or whatever it may be, right? Or I didn't like this piece, can you replace it? And automatically just shoots out. That's incredible to me, right? But at the same time, you want to make sure that it's genuine, right? So if I'm sending out an email, I want to make sure that they realize it is coming from me, right? I just need to, sharpen up my language a little bit.
Okay.
So, so I use ChatGPT.
Cool.
I use, I don't even know what the acronym off the top of my head, it just blanked, but the something about the ability to give you information on how your website is doing.
SEO.
There you go, SEO.
Yeah.
So you see, collaboration, right? SEO. So understanding what the SEO is, my website, my social media content, that is incredibly important. Who's viewing it, how long they're viewing it.
Right.
The longer they view it, the more trustworthiness content was put out there, or that was the content that really worked. So I think those are some of the newer ways of communicating.
Right.
Yeah.
So you've got the old-fashioned way of communicating, which is actually chatting with people in
Yes.
the different settings of networking events, etc. And then you've got your more automated or more modern ways of communicating, and you're using AI then to help polish
Yes.
your newsletters or polish your material. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's available to everyone.
Yeah.
Right? And it's I think ChatGPT is $20 a month. It's an amazing service, right? And sometimes if my grammar needs some correction, I use
Right.
Grammarly. So there's something out there for everyone.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Well, it was fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing this information. Is there anything else you'd like to share with the community before we wrap things
Yeah,
up?
absolutely. I mean, I feel like business as a whole has its own bubble, and you participating in it is really easy to do. Take a leap of faith. Get involved in your communities. Here at the Placentia Chamber of Commerce, we have a variety of different businesses, tons of business, and so whatever question you have, you're going to find an answer. And if you're looking for financial services or you're looking to reach your financial goals, I'm a human GPS for financial planning. And so I help you reach your goals from point A to point Z, and I'm going to hold your hand the entire way. So whatever you need, there's enough resources out there. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Take that leap, and I guarantee you it will work out for you.
Terrific.
Absolutely.
Well, Juan, thank you so much for coming in today
It
and
was my
sharing
true
your
pleasure.
expertise with the
Absolutely.
group here. And until our next episode, everyone, be well.
Thank you. Adios.